What's up everybody, CJ Thomas, STLFitnessBootcamp.com, and today I want to give you a little bit of a plank progression tutorial, okay? So I get asked sometimes, how do I know if I'm in good plank form without somebody coming and correcting me? And I want to give you a couple pointers today, but we've all seen those, memes on Facebook where it's like what I think I look like doing a plank and what I actually look like doing a plank. So I want to try and give you guys a little bit, some pointers that you can look for when you're doing the plank on your own here, okay? So, plank position, my starting position, I always want my elbows over my shoulders, so they're in line right here to start out with, okay? A lot of times when we get in a extended plank form, this is when the butt starts rising up and we start getting out of position. Notice how the angle of my arms change? So that's your first sign right there, is look for the angle of your arms. If it's not at 90 degrees and the shoulders are on top of those elbows right there, then that's one sign that you might not be in great plank form. Another thing that you can look for is what can you see when you look down, because a lot of people will drop their head when they look down, and I can just barely see my toes back there right now, and I can't see much else. Now, best form, you should have your head kind of up right here, but that's something you can do to check. We can still have a strong body and hold a plank position and kind of check behind us and see what we can see. If you can't see very much, that's probably a good indication that you're in good form right there. If you're up here, now I can see my knees, I can see my shins, I can see the ceiling back behind me, I can see the lights in the sky, okay? So how much you're able to see should give you some indication of where you're at in the plank, okay? So, sometimes the plank is too hard as a starting move, so there's always ways that we can modify, and this is what we do at boot camp. We've always got ways for you to take it down a notch or take it up a notch depending on where you're at. So your plank from the knees is where you would start right here, and then as we progress, we come up and hold from the toes right here, okay? So a couple of pointers here when we get to this position. So you've got your good form, your arms are in good position, your hips are tucked in a little bit, and your core is strong here, okay? Notice what happens with my hips too. If I raise them up, this disengages the core, okay? So I'm putting more pressure on the shoulders here. And again, this is a total body movement, so you're gonna feel some shoulders in this move, but I want you to flatten back out and come back to this position right here. So now my shoulders are engaged, but what I'm also doing, you can see just a little movement right here, squeeze. Now I've got that butt squeezed and my hips tucked in right now. Now that totally transforms that plank position automatically, okay? Here, not so much tightness. Here, super tight. Now my legs are engaged, my butt is engaged, and my core is engaged, and I'm feeling my shoulders at the same time. So this is how we can make the plank more difficult and more concentrated. A lot of times we have 30 or 45 seconds at boot camp to get into this. So we want to squeeze in this position, and I'm also kind of trying to pull my belly button in towards my spine right there. So you vacuum that in right there, you suck that up, and we don't let this kind of disengage right here. We keep that tucked in right there and hold that flat body position. One of the other things that I'll see sometimes is this dip in the hips right here. So I don't want you to look too low, and I don't want you up too high right there. So it's finding that medium point. If the hips are too low, here's what you're gonna start to feel. The lower back is automatically taking this weight for me. So I've got lower back. This is one position where you do not want an arch in your back. You want that flat back, even kind of the shoulders rounding out. Notice how the shoulders are kind of rounding out back here, and I'm extending my back out. So, few pointers there on how to take care of that plank. And then of course we've got ways to step it up as well. So plank, and this is what we did the other day. We go to a plank position here. I'm gonna go to a bird dog version, opposite arm and leg hold out, and then we can turn that up and kick that out to the side right there. So the leg and the arm come out, and I put it back. I'll show you from another angle here. Opposite arm and leg come up, and I swing to the outside. So I got super engagement coming on that side, out here as well, everything working. So there's always ways to modify, always ways to turn things up a notch, but you gotta know the basics first. So sometimes I see people going for these advanced versions and we haven't really established the proper form on the core movement itself, okay? So that is how you do a plank. If you got more questions about that move or wanna see other ones, let me know in the comments section. Give us a like, let us know what you're thinking. All right, guys, thanks for watching. CJ Thomas, STL Fitness Bootcamp. I'm out of here.